What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seatbelt. Okay, so it seems that a lot of people don't realize just how bad the alternate option to releasing these carts with these extra downloads on Nintendo Switch would have been. Because regardless of the cart size of these third-party multiplats on the Switch, you would have needed to buy an SD card eventually anyway. Even if every third-party multiplat on the Switch utilized a 32 gig cart, which at the moment it can't because apparently they're not really available because they're super new and super expensive. But even if they weren't, and even if every third-party multiplat on the Switch utilized a 32 gig cart, you would still eventually need to buy an SD card. And the reason for that is, like I told you guys a couple months before the system even came out, DLC, updates, bug fixes. You were always going to need an SD card if you plan to buy multiplats on the Nintendo Switch. Why? Because that new DLC, those new patches, those can't go on the cart. We have to do these updates and do these downloads the same way PlayStation 4 and Xbox and PC guys have to do. If you want the same support, if you want the same DLC, if you want the same updates, you're going to need to buy an SD card. You were always going to need to buy an SD card. But the thing that trips me out is that when the original Wii came out, a bunch of people went out and bought an SD card just for Virtual Console games. When the Wii U came out, people bought hard drives for the Wii U. They bought SD cards for the Wii U. The crazy thing is, neither of those systems needed that. The Switch does for these games. And now people have a problem with buying one. They bought the biggest SD card they could find for the Wii, for Virtual Console games. They bought the biggest hard drives that they could find to support the Wii U. You didn't need no freaking hard drive for the Wii U. You didn't need no damn SD card for the Virtual Console on the Wii. But when it comes to something that we do need an SD card for the Switch in order to get the same support as the other systems, and now people are crying about this? You guys choose now to cry about this. You gotta remember, this time last year on the Wii U, there was virtually no third-party support. If someone would have come up to you as a Wii U owner and say, hey, we'll bring all these games to the Wii U as long as you buy an SD card, you'd be like, where's the store? Exactly. So I think people need to calm down a little bit with this crap, because the alternative to these extra downloads is far worse. You know what those alternate options to that is? Cutting content. Now, honestly, I'm kind of impressed with the fact that these third parties are going through all this to bring these games to the Switch. It speaks a lot about how great the Switch is doing and how much they like the system, because they could have easily just cut content. And third parties have done this on Nintendo systems in the past without blinking an eye. Even dating back to the GameCube. I remember buying True Crime Streets of LA, the original, on the GameCube, loving the game, and then only to find out that because of the disc size, that it was missing like over half of the freaking soundtrack. Now, if you played True Crime Streets of LA on the GameCube, you know that the soundtrack is one of the best parts of the freaking game. So when I found out the GameCube version was missing so many songs, I was kind of salty. Now, they could be doing the same thing with these Switch games. They're like, oh, they don't want to download the extra, fine, we'll just cut some stuff. They could do that. Would you rather them cut content than buy an SD card? Or even worse, not bring the game to the Switch at all? You guys gotta think about repercussions to what you do and why things are done. It's not that big of a deal to buy a freaking SD card. It really isn't. When you think about us getting feature parity with PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games, finally, getting updates and stuff at the same time and the same updates as the competition, finally, getting the same kind of respect from third parties as Sony and Microsoft do, finally, and buying an SD card screws up all that? No, shut up, stop. First of all, if you're hardcore enough to buy multiplats on the Switch, buying an SD card should not even make you blink an eye. Have that seat.